Hello strength fans, Tyler Harnett with metalperformance.ca coming at you with a video on how to warm up your lower body. And again, like I said for the upper body one, there's 1,000,001 ways to warm yourselves up, but this is the one I like to do in particular. I feel it ticks all the boxes for what I'm trying to accomplish and gets me ready for a big lifting day. So I like to think of warming up as accomplishing the following things. I want to move my joints in a full range of motion. I want to wake my nervous system up, or the wires that feed my muscles. And I want to mimic movements that I'm going to do in the gym. So things like squatting, I want to move my hip in a full range of motion, wake my nervous system up, and get in a full range of motion. Lastly, I want to get my heart rate up and get a little bit of a sweat going. Everybody remembers their high school gym teacher saying you got to get a sweat going for a warm-up. But I think for lifters, there's a much more specific way you can accomplish that. So I'm going to take you through the following movements, so follow along with me on my warm-up. Okay, so the first one I like to do, I like to think of starting from the bottom up. So my first thing to warm up, if I'm thinking from bottom up for my lower body warm-up, is my ankles. I'm going to warm up my ankles, do it in a full range of motion using a calf raise. So I start with this little piece of equipment. It's just a couple 2x4s we've bolted together to make a makeshift calf raise, okay? So I set up on here, I'm standing here. I'm gonna do 10 reps of a single leg calf raise on each side, 10 reps on each side, then 10 reps with both feet with a little bit of a pause at the bottom and the top, okay? So that is 10, 20, 40 reps of my ankle. So I don't really think this is great for building calf size, sorry meatheads. But this is gonna move your ankle, or the strongest joint in your body, in a full range of motion, get lots of blood going, and get those signals happening, okay? So moving up the chain from my ankle, I'm gonna start to warm up my knee. So I really like this next movement for knee stability. It sort of wakes up your quads as well, and really helps, as I said, with knee stability. So it's called a Peterson step up. So how we accomplish that is we don't need a huge step up. You don't need to go and get a 6 or 12 inch plyo box. You can stick with something that's about 4 inches here, like this. We're gonna take our two thumbs. We're gonna make sure that our hips are level. So you see I've kind of tilted my hips so they're nice and level. If I'm doing this with my hip up, some certain muscles take over that you don't want to be working. So I just level my hips. I put all my weight on here. I squeeze my glute and my quad, and I slowly step up, slowly step down, okay? So I'll do that again 10 times each side. So now I've warmed my ankle and my knee up and my quads up. I'm going to do a Romanian deadlift to warm up my hamstrings. And this gets my hips and my glutes involved too. If you don't need a lot of weight, you can use a broomstick or a barbell. Really simple. The bar is against my legs. I push my hips back, back, back. I get a stretch and I squeeze to stand up. Push my hips back, squeeze to stand up. So I'll do 2 sets of 10 of that as well. So we've done our ankle, knee, and a part of our hips and hamstrings. I do another hip exercise that I really like. If you're doing this on the ground, they call this a fire hydrant because you lift your leg like you're peeing on a fire hydrant. But this is a standing fire hydrant. So I will stand here, and it's basically like a hip circle. So I'm here, I go up and forward 8 to 10 times or so. I'll do both legs coming forward. I'll do up and out, 2 sets of 8 each side. So I've done, quite a bit of reps to get my hips warmed up, okay? Lastly, moving up, your lower body is, usually referred to as, from your waist down, but your lats are incredibly involved in squatting and deadlifting stability. They hold the bar in the squat, and they hold your spine neutral in the deadlift. So we want to kind of wake those things up and have our lats firing. So I really like to grab this band and do sort of a row with a twist. So I'll do 2 sets of 10. I'll row and pull out, row, pull out. Then combined with that, I like a straight arm pull down with a twist. So I will pull down, come out. So again, 2 sets of 10 of that. So I've done, 100 reps or so to get lots of blood flow going, to wake up my nervous system, move my joints in a full range of motion. And by this point, I usually got a little bit of a sweat going and my heart rate's up. So once again, feel free to add what you want, take away what you want. There's 1,000,001 ways to warm up, and it's pretty specific to how your body moves, okay? If I can help with anything like this on warming up or getting you guys strong, that's what I live to do. So please feel free to reach out. And as always, thanks for tuning in.